Okay, here's a question for you, kind of mind-bending. What if our own bodies could evolve custom medicines, on demand? Imagine your cells aren't just passive recipients of a treatment, but they're actually designing the cure themselves.
It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
But apparently it's not anymore. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're unpacking a really groundbreaking system called Proteus.
Hmm.
And our mission for this deep dive is to explore how this Proteus thing functions, sort of like a biological AI right inside our cells.
Yeah.
We want to look at the incredible problems it's already solving and how this world-first breakthrough, coming from Australian scientists, is fundamentally rewriting the future of medicine.
It really feels like something pulled straight from a futuristic novel, but it is happening now. It's quite remarkable.
Let's explore. So Proteus is being described, as I said, as a biological AI. That's such a powerful comparison. It really makes you stop and think. How does this living system truly think or learn in a way that parallels artificial intelligence?
Well, what's truly fascinating here is that Proteus isn't just some abstract concept. It's a living, adaptable system. It was developed by researchers, University of Sydney's Charles Perkins Center.
Okay.
And when we say biological AI, it's because it can independently evolve brand new molecules,
Yeah.
completely from scratch.
From scratch.
Yes, right inside mammalian cells. So it's not just, tweaking what's already there. It's creating totally novel solutions to biological problems, much like an AI might generate new insights or content it wasn't explicitly programmed with.
And the speed you mentioned, it's almost unbelievable. You're saying it gets results in just weeks.
Weeks, yeah.
Which is just a stark, almost absurd contrast to the millions of years natural evolution takes.
Exactly. Millions of years condensed.
So, okay, what does this actually mean for us, for people needing medicine? It sounds like we're right on the cusp of a world where you could maybe evolve a brand new tailor-made medicine inside your own cells precisely when you need it.
That's the long-term vision, yes. And this breakthrough, it's actually built on a pretty well-established scientific foundation. It's called directed evolution.
Directed evolution, I've heard of that. Wasn't that a Nobel Prize winner?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
The 2018 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. It's essentially about guiding evolutionary processes, but in a controlled lab setting to get specific molecular outcomes you want.
Okay, so Nobel Prize winning tech, but you mentioned earlier it previously worked well, but mostly just in bacteria.
Right, that was the limitation.
That sounds like a huge hurdle if you're aiming for human treatments. What exactly was the big challenge in moving this from bacteria into, well, into human-like cells? And how did Proteus break through that barrier? That seems like the game changer.
That is the critical distinction, absolutely. Those earlier methods were incredibly powerful, no doubt. But being limited to bacteria meant there was this huge gap in translating them directly to human biology.
Right.
Mammalian cells, our cells,
Mhm.
are just vastly more complex. They're the environment we need to work in for most human therapies,
Yeah.
but they're also much, much harder to manipulate for this kind of directed evolution.
Much trickier.
Exactly. Proteus basically cracked that code. They
Mhm.
developed a system robust enough, sophisticated enough to perform this accelerated evolution directly within these complex, human-like cellular environments.
Okay.
And that's precisely why it's so crucial for medical applications.
Mhm.
It opens the door to direct human benefit in a way these previous systems simply couldn't.
It's almost like giving our cells their own problem-solving engine. So when you give Proteus, this biological AI, a complex biological challenge, like say, how do I specifically switch off this disease-causing gene without messing anything else up? How does it actually think? How does it explore to find the solution inside a living cell?
Well, once Proteus gets that challenge, it really does act like an intelligent explorer.
Right.
Inside the cell, it doesn't just hunt for existing solutions. That's key. Instead, it generates and then it probes literally millions of molecular possibilities, many of which don't even exist in nature.
Wow, millions.
Yeah, it's a rapid iterative cycle. Create, test, select, create, test, select,
Right.
all happening within the cell itself. It keeps evolving these possibilities until it finds the perfect, the most effective solution for that specific problem it was given.
Okay.
Dr. Christopher Deans, the lead researcher, he put it very well. He said, we can now program a mammalian cell with a genetic problem we don't know how to solve and let Proteus figure it out.
Let Proteus figure it out.
Yeah, that really shifts the paradigm of how we discover molecules.
That idea of cells figuring it out is just wild. But okay, let's ground this a bit. What has this system actually managed to figure out so far? In the lab, what are some tangible examples? Have they made any of these sort of impossible medicines yet?
Yeah, the achievements they've reported so far are incredibly promising. For example, Proteus has already been used to create significantly better versions of CRISPR gene editors.
Better CRISPR. How?
Well, instead of just using CRISPR as is, it's evolving versions that act more like highly intelligent molecular scalpels. They have much better precision targeting. This helps minimize those off-target effects, which have always been a major concern, a hurdle for current gene therapies.
Right. Hitting the wrong spot.
Exactly. So it's moving from maybe a broad spectrum approach to a real surgical strike at the genetic level.
Okay, that's huge. What else?
Beyond that, it's evolved things called nanobodies, tiny antibody fragments.
Antibodies.
Yeah, and these ones can detect DNA damage, which we know is a key driver in cancer development, with unprecedented sensitivity, much better than before. And it's also designed proteins that respond far more precisely to specific drug treatments. So you can imagine therapies becoming more effective, maybe needing lower doses.
So treatments aren't just designed for the body anymore, but potentially by the body itself?
That's the essence of it. It's a fundamental shift from just external intervention to this kind of internal biological co-creation. It opens doors to therapies we couldn't even conceive of designing by hand before this.
Okay, this sounds incredibly powerful, but I imagine the scientists must have hit some major walls during development.
Oh, certainly.
Like, if you're building a self-improving system, how do you stop it from just taking lazy shortcuts, finding quick but maybe weak or ineffective answers? How did they force this biological system to be truly rigorous, to prevent it from essentially cheating and only accepting really good solutions?
Yeah, that was a critical point in their research, a real challenge. And their answer was really ingenious. It involved a clever trick using something they called chimeric virus-like particles.
Chimeric, like the myth.
Sort of, yeah. It
Wow.
means combining parts from different sources. In this case, they combined parts of two different viruses.
Okay, how does that stop cheating?
Well, imagine Proteus needs to solve a puzzle, but the pieces it needs to use are designed by two different kind of incompatible biological systems. By forcing it to combine elements from both, it couldn't just find a simple, easy fit for one part. It had to create a solution so robust, so well integrated, that it could bridge these two distinct biological logics effectively. This design basically ensures that only the truly powerful, the truly effective molecular solutions can actually survive the evolutionary process inside the cell.
So it built in its own quality control.
Exactly. It effectively weeds out the lazy or partial solutions. Very clever.
That is clever. Now, shifting gears slightly, one of the things that really stood out to me is that Proteus is apparently completely open source,
Yes, it is.
which feels kind of rare and really welcome in this kind of cutting-edge science. This isn't some proprietary tech locked behind patents.
Absolutely. And that open source approach is, I think, a monumental step for collaborative science. It's huge.
What does that mean practically?
It means researchers anywhere in the world can now access this tool, this platform, and immediately start using it to evolve molecules for their specific medical research, for whatever disease they're studying.
Without massive licensing fees or barriers.
Precisely. So looking at the wider picture, this just opens up a vast array of potential future applications. Think about developing even better gene therapies, more precise, more effective,
Okay.
or creating next-generation mRNA vaccines, perhaps, with unprecedented speed
Yeah.
because the system can evolve the best components.
Right.
And maybe even, eventually, those truly tailor-made treatments we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
built inside your own cells, adapting to your unique biology in real time.
It really feels like Proteus isn't just another scientific milestone. It genuinely represents a fundamental shift in how we even think about medicine.
I'd agree.
It suggests this future where medicine isn't just a static pill or injection you take, but it's a living, adaptive, evolving process happening, right inside your own biology.
Exactly. And that naturally leads us to wonder, doesn't it? What does it truly mean for, say, preventative care? Or for highly personalized treatments, when your own cells can effectively figure out a solution for themselves?
Yeah.
Imagine a future where your body could proactively evolve a defense or maybe a repair mechanism for some emerging health challenge, perhaps even before you're consciously aware of it.
Still found.
The implications for health, for longevity, are really quite staggering. And it leaves us with this final thought, perhaps. Could the ultimate medicine be one that's designed not by us in a lab, but actually by our own biology, guided by tools like Proteus?